All right, welcome back to the TNEC cast. It's your man Shuff with the Weapon K, and like I always say, run it back again. We are the TNEC cast, episode 44. Like I said before, last week, we're coming up on a year. It'll be a year next month.
Mm-hmm.
Insane, and next month is literally next week. So it's just time has been flying, but having a great time. So thank you for everybody that's been along for the ride. The housekeeping stuff, like, comment, subscribe, please, 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 please. We got to get to 500 soon.
Yeah.
We got to get more subscribers because I want to go live on here versus on Instagram. I really want to kind of keep this here on YouTube and be able to be more interactive with everybody. And then the other housekeeping note: we are at 81 registrations for the Dallas Showdown Classic. So we're moving right along, 19 away from the overall goal with a lot of time to go, but we're not letting up, so we want to make that happen, sooner rather than later. But Kay, how are you feeling, my brother?
I'm chilling, dog. I'm hungry. Man, I'm very hot. We were talking about some stuff offline that got me more fired up. But yeah, I'm chilling. Next week, God willing, we're gonna have Sarita back on the podcast to talk about the big moves she's been going on through. I gotta hit up Kyle and see if he wants to get on. Probably for the 1 year the following week.
Yes, you gotta get him.
So yeah, I'll talk to him a little later. So Kyle, if I forget, hey, hit me up, and we'll schedule something. Also, if you guys have any ideas of content that you guys want to see from us, let us know. Definitely want to get out our comfort zone in 2022 and try to put out as much to hit that 500 subscribers. So this episode, we're going to be talking about priorities. We touched on it a lot. Talking about, the stuff in the back burner. How you really don't want to have stuff in the back burner. If it's on the back burner, you might as well just take it off because you're never really going to get to it, right? So, Isaac, managing priorities, what you got?
Boom. So, like I always do, we kind of, let you in on how, the things that we talk about before, we start recording and everything. And one of the, we had the topic, but what we were trying to do, focus it, manage it, try to make it a little bit more tangible and digestible. So what we came up with, as Kay said, managing your priorities. So the first step is, you're looking and you say, okay, what's a priority? And that's in your life. So in all facets, whether it be the fitness, finances, whatever it is, you start to look and say, okay, what is a priority? You figure out, okay, this. Now you have these things that are priorities. What are you doing with them? How are you managing them? There's a lot of different ways to do it. And so the first thing I'll say, as we kind of talk about it, there's no one way to do this. There's no right way to do it. Because there's an insane amount of variables. I feel like Tony Stark when he's trying to figure out the time travel stuff. There's just too many different things that you can come up with, think about this, that, and the third. So I'll kind of do the way I do it and the way I process it. So I do two things. I think about the time it will take and what's easy. Because here goes a good example. I'll use a fitness example. Like if you're going to, when I say time that it takes versus when I say easy, okay, how much effort will it take, resources, whatever the case may be. So it's like mentioned 330 versus, 135. Now, 135 is a lot easier, but it might take more time because I need to do 30 reps or 40 reps where I got to do 2 reps of 130, which won't take as much time, but it'll be tougher because it's heavier. So that's the way you got to look at things. Look at things in life. So, okay, so you have, 5 things that you need to get done in a day. So as you're looking at your day, number one is defining, okay, you got the priorities defined. So now you're trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to get all this done by the end of the day? Because these are all things I need to get done before I lay my head down to go to sleep. So you say, okay, let me organize these in the times, in the amount of time it will take me to do them. So you say, okay, I got this. So now what are you trying to do? Okay, let me do the things that's going to take longest first. So then that way, when I'm at the back end of the day, I'm a little bit tired. I may be running out of time. That thing that only takes 2 minutes will be easier then versus leaving that, at the end of the day, that big thing that takes 2 hours where now I may be encroaching on other time. So there's a time thing. Then the easy one, and I think the one that most people do, it has to do with importance. So you try to knock out what's most important first so it's done. You know what I mean? So I know one of the things I always got to do when one of my sons, he has allergies, so I got to pick up his allergy medicine. So those days when allergy medicine is ready, it's an important thing. So I'm trying to figure out my day, and thankfully it's near the pharmacy's near the gym, so I'm able to knock out 2 birds with one stone. But it's managing those priorities. So the two things, like where I went with it first, is the very tangible part of that, the doing, the getting this done, checking this off. But the other part of that people don't always recognize is the intangible side of that. When you're starting to define what's a priority that you want in your life from a goal standpoint. Now, when we're talking about those things, those aren't things that are done in a day. You don't become a champion in a day. The day you become a champion, there were years and years of work leading up to that. So when you're thinking about priorities, so you say to yourself, okay, Kyrie and I are bodybuilders. Is being the best in our respective class a priority? Because if it is, your priorities change. Eating is a priority now. Eating the right things, eating the right amount. You see what I'm saying? So that's an intangible, but at least it's something tangible. Because now, we're just going to be real. If being the best isn't a priority to you, the way you eat, the way you approach eating is going to be different. The way you rest is going to be different. The way you do cardio, the way you work out, all those different things, but it all starts with the decision, a clear decision to decide, hey, being this is a priority. And the thing is, it's not that tangible thing. You can check off everything that day. That does not matter, because now guess what? So for example, the Olympia this year isn't for another 10, 11 months. It's in December. Every day. You got to be, those priorities have to stay at the forefront. That's what we talk about, managing your priorities, again, from an intrinsic and tangible level, and also from a tangible level. And that's where they meet. So, okay, when you're going throughout your day, what have you found to be the most effective way to manage your priorities?
What do I value? So I think that's like the first thing. Whenever you think about like priorities, like the first step to even deem it a priority, you must value it, right? So if someone doesn't value family, let's say there's a single 21-year-old, stationed in Japan, they don't have a family, so they don't value family. Therefore, they won't prioritize family, right? So for me, it's just like, okay, I value winning championships. I value being the best husband and father I can be. That's pretty much it, and being the epitome of discipline, right? So those three things, everything else is just like falls by the wayside, or on the back burner. You see what I'm saying? He's like, if I get to it, I get to it, right? But like, I had to have this conversation with my wife. I really didn't have to, but I did anyway. Of just saying like, yo, like once my daughter comes out, young Gigi, I'm sorry, but I'm still have to go to the gym. Love my daughter to death, but like, like I'm on parental leave for like 42 days, but I still have to put in that work. Mm-hmm. And she's like, hell yeah. Go. Because she knows that's me, right? And it's very important to have your Avengers be around you and be like, yeah, like go. I can hold this down for an hour and a half. Go handle your stuff, right? And that's something that I value. And it's funny that you even brought up the Olympia, because I'm gonna see if I can take a picture of it and throw it up like right now. I have this whiteboard, and you know what? I'm gonna go grab it. Stand by one. Just keep him busy. I'll be right back.
Hey, we're not gonna edit it out. So while he's going to grab that whiteboard, visit at NFF Dallas Showdown Classic on Instagram. You can actually, that's then the website is DallasShowdownClassic.com. all invited to come down to Dallas, come check out the one of the biggest natural shows in the country.
It's like show and tell right now. Hopefully you guys can see this.
Got a little commercial in there.
Isaac, I can't hear you, but
okay,
this right here, hold up. It's like show and tell. This is in my kitchen, by the way, right?
There's no edits. This is how you know.
No edits, dog. No edits. So this is the road to the Olympia, right? I know you guys can't barely see that, but this is basically the contest schedule for 2022. Show of Champions, July 30th. August 30th is North Americans, and if I win that, I go here. If I win that, I go here, right? Straight to the Olympia. Mm-hmm. Now, whenever I started this says wins, by the way. Whenever I started, it was 348 days to the Olympia. And if I win the day, I change that 0 to a 1. And that 1 to a 2. We're at 16. Right? Disregard this. And how I win the day, there's a criteria. I have priorities, right? What do I prioritize in my life? Eating my meals, training my butt off, and knowledge. I'm learning how to be more of a contest prep coach now, so I have a book that I'm reading about that. Renaissance something like that. RP, great guys. They have a hypertrophy guide that I learned about that as well. And whenever I lose, I have to be honest with myself. Right? No one really cares about this, but I care about it. One night I didn't have I forgot to put peanut butter in my shake. And I was sitting in bed and I was like, man, I forgot. And I had a decision. Do I get up and do it? Or I had to lose the day? I lost. I went to sleep. I forgot to put protein powder in my shake.
What is it with you in a shake?
I don't know, okay? Because there's a lot of ingredients, so sometimes it'd be messing up and it's like, whatever. And then Saturday, I was feeling like doo-doo. Straight crap. And I was like, man, because where my schedule is and where my split is, I had to decide. I was like, do I want to take a rest day tomorrow and go today? Because Saturday was a busy day. I was never in the house all of day Saturday. And I was like, I'm not going to the gym today. I'm not going to make it. Some people be like, well, you didn't lose the day. You were feeling terrible. Me? No. I lost. Right? And that ability to be honest and being like, yo, listen, God knows, I know, and my wife knows. Whenever I don't put, my priorities first. Nope. You see what I'm saying? So that's my priorities. You can even adopt this to yourself and put it in your little notepad. And being like, yo, did I win the day? My dad actually texted me. And he was like, what did he say? He was like, yeah, I killed it in the gym today. Did my cardio. I won the day. I'm like, check. Keep going. The next day, same thing. The next day, same thing. It's all about that one day. Mm-hmm. And then you win the week. Then you win the month. But before you even think about winning the day, you have to think about what do I prioritize? Because then I can be like, well, I didn't. I made it back to my bed alive, so no, I won. So, but yeah.
What was good is you perfectly illustrated managing your priorities. You literally illustrated it. Because and that's why I was saying, because sometimes people get caught up, especially if you're somebody that's very demonstrative in the way you say things. People think, well, that means there's only one way. Heck no. There are so many different ways to do this. Some people are more visual.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they need to see it. They need to feel that checking off the checklist. That was one of the, I'll tell you, one of the big things. I went and bought a checklist app, and it's been great for me. Because my intention with checklists has been so good in life. Execution. I mean, it would just end up being so many. Then bye. I'll just get rid of it. But now, I don't know what it is. Shout out to Any Do. That's what the app is called. It's been great keeping me organized, being able to prioritize all these different. It's just amazing. So what I'm saying is, there's several ways to do it. You just have to sit down and once you, because like Kay said with the value, so once you say, okay, these are my priorities, another way as manager, you could say, okay, what do these things fall into what I value?
What do they mean to me? If I don't do it, what will happen?
Yeah, because how are you going to be held accountable?
Mm-hmm.
So if Kay messaged me for whatever reason and was like, I missed the gym the last 2 days. First question, first I'm like, are you all right? Because that's not normal. But
Literally.
how can I hold him accountable to it if he doesn't value it?
Mm-hmm.
That because at that point, I can talk to him blue in the face, but if he doesn't value it, it's not a priority. It doesn't matter. Accountability isn't there. That's what I was on a live earlier. I was talking about, people that I coach. I'm like, if you don't want to, if going pro isn't a priority, you're not really going to, it's not going to work with me because I'm too passionate. I'm too intense. You need so if I say to you, hey, remember you told me you wanted to go pro, if that don't mean nothing to you and you're in the deep throes of prep, you going to cheat or you not going to do your work. There's something that you're not going to do, and it's probably going to be repetitive that you're not going to do. That's going to keep you to reaching it. So I think another way to manage your priorities, what can I be held accountable to? Because it's very easy to say, oh, saving up for blank is a priority, but can somebody hold you accountable to it?
Can you hold yourself accountable to it? Like, how so, right? You want to save up for that family vacation. You want to save up for, your child's college. It's just like dope. But next week, yeah, next paycheck, I got you. Next paycheck, yeah, I'm going to definitely throw $100 in here. I'm just like, come on, man. At the end of the day, life is just a scoreboard. Like, when you look at life as like a scoreboard, you'll be surprised, like, yo, I've been getting my ass whooped for like the majority of my life, and I need to turn this game around.
Yep. And so one of the things, I believe I said it on one of the casts, but it's important enough to say it again. You brought up life as a scoreboard. We spend too much time trying to go, and this is from Gary Vee, by the way, so I'm going to paraphrase it a little bit, but this is from him. This is where I learned it. He said, we spend too much time trying to go 3-0, 4-0. The whole failure is not an option, or you can't lose or anything like that. So you look at your board. So you had those 3 losses on there, right? Because you're trying, you're doing. Gary Vee was taught instead of trying to go 3 or 4-0, you're limiting your chances. You're limiting your time at success. Go 150 and 120. Guess what? You still have a winning record.
Yep.
Yeah, you took some L's, but you got more wins than losses. You know what I mean? That's the way you got to look at it. So scoreboard, I mean, the best analogy is a baseball game because there's no time on a baseball game. It's the 9 innings.
Yeah.
So if you make it to the 9th inning, you still, whether you're down 1 run or 100 runs, you still got 3 outs left. Are you going to pack it in? Say, well, it's already a loss, or you going to say, hey, I worked too hard to get into this batter's box. I worked too hard to get to this stage. I got 3 outs left, and I'm going to go down swinging. That's what the priorities are. That's where accountability comes in. And then obviously the big word, discipline, all these things. It's like when it comes down to it, when you're trying to manage something and you're trying to say, okay, what's important? Like at the end of the day, breathing is probably one of, if not the most important thing, because if you don't breathe, you're dead.
Yeah.
So breathing is a priority. When your body is doing things, breathing is the number 1 priority. Circulating the blood, all these different things that we don't think about. Thank God, because we wouldn't be here. Because imagine trying to have to think about that all day long. My goodness.
Gotta digest my food now.
So, yeah, I know, right? So,
what?
But what I'm saying to y'all is, you gotta understand. You can be like a cell phone, or you can be like Wile E. Coyote's chalkboard. So a cell phone, you press that, right? And it's very simple. You press it, opens up whatever you're opening up. It gets there, and you're like, oh, okay, cool. You have no idea about the different mechanisms and all this stuff that went on. That's what you want in life. Versus the whole, the Wile E. Coyote chalkboard, you're looking at it like, I can't figure you. Find out what's important. Find out what drives you. Find out what means things. I'm saying the same thing in different ways because there's somebody listening to this is going to hit home with somebody with one of these ways that I'm saying it. Find out what you can. Kyrie hit it on the head. Hold yourself accountable to, because at the end of the day, I don't care how much you care about whoever it is, spouse, child, whatever. When it comes to accountability, you're always going to be number one because you're the only one that's with you literally all the time. So if you're trying to eat better, at the end of the day, you're not always going to have spouse, kid, friend, coach, whoever with you to say, don't do that.
Yeah.
3:00 in the morning, you did great. Now you up. Are you heading to the fridge? Or are you saying, I need to take my ass back to sleep? Mm-hmm. What are you doing? Because it's very, and that's where discipline and all those kind of things come into the picture, because you got to think about it. Nobody's around. Nobody's there to check you. Nobody's there to ask anything like that. Is losing weight really a priority? When Kyrie and I come to you as your coach to say, and you're telling us, oh yes, it's a priority because I want to get on stage and I want to be the best. I want to be better than you too. All that stuff that people say. But you woke up in the middle of the night and you decided to have a piece of somebody else's chocolate cake. Mm. Champions ain't doing that. That shit might taste, golly, that stuff might taste good right then, but it tastes like third place. It tastes like fourth place. I was talking about this earlier. That's what that tastes like. I don't care what my food tastes like. My food could be nothing, because right now all I want to do is a pro win. That's all I care. Like, I shouldn't say that's all I care about, but that's where my focus is. Got it as a coach. Got a few of them as a coach. I want it.
Yeah.
That's like, if you talk about like in Isaac's life, outside of, family obligations and things of that nature, that is my priority. That's what drives me. Sorry, I went a little nuts over there. Because I know you relate. It bothers me big time that my best pro finishes second. Like it hurts me, because I have not just peers, but I have friends that have that. I have friends that have that. I can actually say that I can get a hold of the Olympia winner, which is pretty freaking cool. I'm not going, oh, we friends, I'm not going to name drop and all that stuff, but I can actually do that, which is pretty freaking cool. I want to be able to somebody to say, oh yeah, my boy, he's a pro champion. Like, I want that bad. It's a priority to me. So now, as a manager, my priorities is going here or going there, going to get me there. Is doing this or doing this going to get me there. It's easy. I don't need anybody to be checking in on me, calling me, asking me. I know I'm accountable to me. Ain't nothing wrong with when you really want something. Hate to break it to you, got to be selfish.
I'm about to give you guys a prep hack. Yeah, or just a lifestyle, there's a chocolate cake on the counter and you really want some, dog. I realized this on my first prep. And it was funny because Kyle was like, dog, do you just like, because I love prep. Oh, man, prep is my favorite time of year, right? If I could prep 24/7, I would. But that chocolate cake only lasts for about 3 minutes, tops. And it's over. That's it. Like, you're over here having this big mental like breakdown of just like, I really, really want it. But when you realize it's like that and it's gone, you're just like, oh, well, that's useless. Why would I even want that then? Sure, it might taste good, but you know what? You know what else is cool? Looking up and seeing a championship ring. Looking up and seeing all of my trophies.
Man.
That's forever. That's mine. But like whenever I'm struggling, I'm just like, oh, what? But it goes back to priorities as well. I think it's a little bit different with lifestyle too, because like you really don't have a timeline. But competition, yo, dog, like peak week and you see a piece of chocolate cake, are you really gonna mess up your peak over some chocolate cake? You can't wait a week.
What, you've been prepping 12, 16, 20, whatever your situation is?
Mm-hmm. Just like, a little prep hack for you, dog. It lasts 5 seconds, dog. It's not even worth it, dog.
But I'll go, because we talked about the difference between competition and lifestyle. There are people that sat in that doctor's office, been told you got to go on blood pressure medication. Mm-hmm. You have diabetes, or you're going to be on these if you do not correct something. So you do have a timeline. Because now what you are literally doing is you are taking years off of your life. We are only here a finite amount of time. That's all of us, every single one of us. We're only here a finite amount of time. I know I want to be here as long as I possibly can. I want to be as healthy as I possibly can for that time. You know what I mean? So with that being said, we're talking, Kate talks about the prep hack, the lifestyle hack. Again, lifestyle, it's the same thing. That cake, you've been doing good for 6 weeks. You're well on your way to making sure that you're well on your way to getting under that weight and do all these things that your doctor said, hey, I need you to hit this, and this, so I don't have to put you on said medication. Mm-hmm. Are you willing to risk it? Because you already have a bad relationship with food. So are you willing to risk all that work you've done the last 6 to 8 weeks over that cake that could easily send you over the edge? And that cake turns into, now you hopping in the car in Texas, Whataburger's 24 hours. Now you had no you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that with lifestyle, you have to approach it the same way. Like, and honestly, I think lifestyle, you should be even more, because you're fighting for your damn life. We fighting for trophies, and at the end of the day, I was joking with a client this morning. I said to her, I was like, you invest all this money in a sport that we don't get a lot of financial return. You know what I mean? So why would you not want something that you can at least present? I mean, if you want to waste your money and you really don't want to do it, just go to the award store yourself and buy it. Mm-hmm. You'll save yourself a lot of money and put number one or whatever you want to, you want to put on it. But when we're talking about lifestyle, I'm sorry. I mean, I want my pro win, win NFF champion, Natty-O, all these different things that I can win. But at the end of the day, I don't prize it over my life. And that's where, as a lifestyle client, you gotta see your prize. Your life is your Natty-O. Your life is your Olympia. So that's what you need to, like, when 3 o'clock hits and that chocolate cake, or for me, it would be that pumpkin pie. I'll tell you a quick story. They had a no sugar added pumpkin pie. It was like a week or two ago. Uh-oh. And I've been eating too much. I knew I was at my limit of, I'll put it like this. I used up my freebie days. I'll call it that. Like, or my freebie meals, where you only get a finite amount of them during a certain amount of time, and I'd use them. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, and I looked at the macros versus the regular pumpkin pie. I'm like, and I put it down. Do you like it? But I put it down because where I want to go. It wasn't easy. I'm not sitting there. This isn't a, hey, pat Isaac on the back. This is the realness of it. I don't care how disciplined you are, your situations. Nobody was there. I literally could have bought that pumpkin pie, crumpled up the receipt so nobody would have saw it, ate it in my car like a pack rat, and been on my way. Nobody would have been known the wiser.
Nobody cares either. Your competition don't care. Hell, go ahead. I'll buy it for you.
Where's that? Yo, I'm doing that shit.
Yeah. You crazy. But it's all on you. Mm-hmm. Do you care? Do you value it? Do you prioritize it?
Because your actions will show it.
Bingo. Do you have anything else?
Nah, this is another great one where we start one way and it just goes to show all the different ways things can go in life, and just another great episode. I know there's a possibility of us having to skip a week, so
no excuses. No excuses. She gonna be right here. She gonna be right here, man.
And then hopefully, Sarita already confirmed, so we're going to have Sarita here next week. So I'm excited for that. She can talk about basically what she's been up to since the last time she was on. A lot of great things have been going on, so we'll be able to talk about that. And like always, like, comment, subscribe.
She actually she was talking about it on her last podcast. You remember that? That was crazy. Mm-hmm. You shoot, because I'm very interested in and she put the work in. I actually want to share something. Shout out to my dad. He's probably going to watch this. And if you did pop, like, shout out to you, because he texted me. He was like, update. I took off some pants without unbuttoning them. Weight coming off. Baby steps. You know what that is?
Pop, go.
That's a trophy.
Go, Pop, go.
That's a trophy, dog. You see what I'm saying? He didn't have to step on stage. And that's the thing. So you don't have to step on stage. He's not doing it for no one else but being here for his grandchildren. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's his trophy. That's his Natty-O. That's his Mr. Olympia. That's him checking off another box. Adding a win to that scoreboard. I get to be here longer for my kids, for my grandchildren. So I'll give you your flowers while you're here. Already like FaceTime and talk to him about it. It really warms my heart. And that relationship that we have where it's just like he sees me winning, I see him winning. We just feed off that. We feed off that. So love you, Pop. Yes. Like, comment, subscribe. What's up?
We need to do a client win segment. Don't need to be long. I think we should share, a win. Not one of us, just one of somebody on the team, client, whatever.
Yeah.
Somebody we know, just a win. I think that would be.
We make it like a monthly thing, huh?
Monthly, I just think we need to share the wins.
Okay.
Because it's important. Because like we talk about like you said, we got to give the flowers, man. So we want people to keep going.
Yes, sir. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate all you guys for stopping in every single Tuesday morning. And yeah, take it easy.